FC Mehra and Lake Tandon presents Amrapali. Namaste and welcome to Indie Cine Glitz channel. Made in 1966, this historical story dates back to the 6th century when the Indian subcontinent was ruled by 16 Mahajanpadas. The most powerful of them was the Magad Empire, led by the king Ajatashatru, son of Bimbisara and a contemporary of the Buddha. Ajatashatru here is a very ambitious king who wants to expand his kingdom throughout the Indian subcontinent, for which his next target is the neighboring kingdom of Vajji, whose capital is Vaishali, which he wants to conquer at any cost. But both his minister and commander try to convince him that they have been at war for the last 6 years. Their soldiers are in dire need of rest. His mother also tells him about his father Bimbisara's 2 failed attempts to invade Vaishali and says that conquering Vaishali is not that easy. Their war tactics are excellent and most importantly, the people of Vaishali have a strong sense of patriotism, so it's very difficult to defeat them. But the headstrong Ajatashatru, who's intoxicated with power and arrogance, cares nothing and immediately attacks Vaishali. But despite using massive force, he fails miserably and gets injured in the middle of the battle. So his commander takes him to a safe place, but Vaishali's soldier hiding there attack them. But they succeed in killing all of them. His commander wants to take him to another safe place, but Ajatashatru orders him to take his defeated army back home and forbids him to tell them about their gravely wounded king. To save himself, he dons the clothes of a Vaishali soldier lying there. Ajatashatru, now disguised as a Vaishali soldier, moves forward. After walking some distance, he reaches a temple where a woman is telling stories to children. Mistaking him for Vaishali's soldier, she runs to him and asks about the outcome of the battle. When he tells her that Vaishali has won, she faints with joy and thanks God for Ajatashatru's defeat. But seeing the serious condition of the soldier, she takes him to her home and treats him. When she asks him his name, he brushes it off by saying that a soldier's job is only to fight for his country, without name or religion. She becomes fascinated by his bravery and patriotism and tells him that her name is Amrapali. The next day, Vaishali celebrates its victory with great pomp. The injured Ajatashatru also comes out to see it. But then a minister of Vaishali sees him and orders the soldier to arrest him. When the soldiers bring him, he reveals to Ajatashatru that he is a spy from Magad who is a minister in the royal court of Vaishali. Ajatashatru then asks him to propose to the king of Vaishali to reduce its military force and focus on other issues and decides to secretly spy on Vaishali himself in disguise. That night, a large statue of Ajatashatru is installed in a mass dance celebrating their victory, which the entire city gathers to watch. Along with Ajatashatru, Amrapali herself sets fire to the statue, but due to its weight, it starts falling apart. But then, Ajatashatru rushes and saves Amrapali from the burning, which turns Amrapali's affection towards him into love. A few days later, it is announced in the city that on the coming full moon night, a competition will be held to choose Vaishali's Nagarvadhu, that is, the royal court dancer, where all aspiring female dancers can showcase their talents. On the night of the contest, the king of Vaishali, who follows the Buddha's philosophy and advocates humanity and non-violence, congratulates his subjects on their victory and orders the contest to begin. Many skilled dancers start showcasing their talent, but then Amrapali, who happens to be in the crowd, points out the flaws of the winning candidate. Then the judge asks her to prove that mistake. Saluting her guru, Amrapali starts dancing and amazes everyone with her talent, elegance, and mastery of the dance. The pleased king confers on her the title of Nagarvadhu. But there in Magad, Ajatashatru's mother is worried about her son. The commander assures her that he is taking his time to recover from such a huge defeat and asks her to not to worry. On the other hand, Amrapali is about to perform her first dance in the royal court and is eagerly waiting for the arrival of her beloved soldier. The spy of Magad tells Ajatashatru the secret of Vaishali's victory is that they are constantly engaged in searching for new unique weapons, which they cannot deal with. But the meeting room of the royal court has a secret passage that leads to this secret armory room. Ajatashatru then goes to the royal court on the pretext of Amrapali's dance. Amrapali is elated on his arrival and brilliantly performs her dance. She introduces him to the king and tells him about his bravery and how he saved her life. After the dance, Amrapali openly expresses her love for her soldier, but the soldier says that he can't deviate from his path until his goals are achieved. But he surely is captivated by Amrapali's beauty and intimacy. After a few days, Ajatshatu is called to the royal court. Panicked, Ajatshatu comes as ordered. There, the king's minister makes him wear a fake beard. All the courtiers present there look shocked to see him. King then tells him that his face resembles a lot to Ajatshatu and they can take advantage of it. He orders him to appear immediately on receipt of further orders. The worried spy then tells Ajatshatu to be careful and not to meet even Amrapali until he gets details about the king's intentions. One day, the son of Amrapali's guru and her childhood friend Som comes to meet Amrapali. Som is a sculptor and presents her with a beautiful statue of Amrapali which he made for her. The speechless and delighted Amrapali then asks Som to immortalize her beloved soldier as well by making a similar statue of him whom she loves and wants to spend the rest of her life with, which he accepts and goes to see him. Som tells Ajatshatu that he wants to immortalize him by making a statue of him. But the haughty Ajatshatu mocks him and says the cause of his immortality will not be stone or clay, but his bravery and courage. Som then insists to him that only Amrapali will be the cause of his immortality and leaves. Amrapali also comes there to see him and again expresses her undying love for him. Ajatshatu, who till now was only been conscientious and obsessed only with achieving his goals, finally melts and falls in love with Amrapali. One day, when Amrapali and Ajatshatu were together, the commander of Magadh arrives there and requests him to return to Magadh as the kingdom would become unstable without its king. But Ajatshatu, who is now deeply in love with Amrapali and can't live apart from her, refuses to come back until he tells her the truth that he is Ajatshatu and takes her along with him. But Som, who had come to meet Ajatshatu, overhears their conversation and soon goes to meet Amrapali and as she had requested, presents a statue of her beloved soldier. Amrapali is shocked to see it. Then Som reveals the truth about her soldier that the man she loves is Ajatshatu, the enemy of all of them, and leaves from there. Just then, Ajatshatu comes there, but a heartbroken Amrapali, who now knows the truth, raises her sword on him. But how could she kill the man she loved so much? Ajatshatu tries to convince her, but she cuts his statue in half and runs away to perform her scheduled dance in the royal court, in which she cannot hide her pain and grief of the betrayal. After the dance, Ajatshatu confronts her and asks her to leave Vaishali and come with him, where she will be recognized as the queen of Magadh. But when Amrapali rejects his proposal, he threatens to destroy Vaishali if she does not go with him, to which Amrapali gets very angry and slaps him hard. But then, his commander comes there and knocks Ajatshatu unconscious and brings him back to Magadh, where he learns that his mother is no more. A few months later, Commander tells Ajatshatu that now is the right time to attack Vaishali and that the attack must be carried out immediately to be successful. But a heartbroken Ajatshatu says that as long as Amrapali is there, he is helpless and can do nothing. Seeing the helplessness of his king, Commander himself goes to meet Amrapali and tries to convince her. He requests her to respect the love and feelings of the king of Magadh and begs her to accept his proposal of becoming the queen of Magadh. But Amrapali refuses to betray her country and throws out the commander, saying that any invader who wants to attack her country is only her enemy. But Amrapali, who is burning between her love and duty, is now completely dejected and decides to leave everything behind and spend the rest of her life somewhere far away. She shocks everyone in the court when she announces her decision to step down as a royal dancer, but people refuses to let such a skilled and talented artist go. But the king's senior advisor asks the people to accept Amrapali's plea, citing that Amrapali's only intention to leave this honorable post is to marry her beloved soldier. But Amrapali immediately refutes his allegations and tells that she wants to spend the rest of her life in seclusion, hence she is leaving this post, not for the marriage. Then the senior advisor tells her that he knows the reason behind her decision and immediately calls the soldiers. The soldiers then brings the captured commander to the court. The advisor then reveals to the court that he is the commander of their enemy kingdom Magadh and Amrapali's beloved soldier is none other than Ajatshatu himself and declares Amrapali traitor. Hearing this, people's affection for Amrapali now turns into hatred. The king orders her arrest, and the same people who moments ago were pleading not to let her go are now cursing, slandering, and insulting her. The commander of Magad gets beheaded and Amrapali is thrown into a dungeon. Hearing this, Ajatashatru destroys and burns down the city, leaving no one alive. After capturing Vaishali, he frees Amrapali and proudly tells her that now there is no one in this world to call her a traitor, and now she's the queen of both the Vaishali and Magad kingdom. And then he takes her to the battlefield where the dead bodies of the people of Vaishali are lying. Amrapali gets distressed seeing the dead bodies of her countrymen, but Ajatashatru tells her that this was the only way to have her. But Amrapali replies that she would have respected him more if he had spent his life remembering her after her death instead of causing such destruction for her. But now she cannot even think of living with a man whose hands are stained with the blood of thousands of innocents. He is no longer a lover, but a murderer. But Ajatashatru says that he did all this just to get her. Amrapali then says that since she is also a participant in this sin, she will have to go somewhere far away for atonement to calm her mind. But she is clueless about where to go. Just then, they start hearing the chanting of mantras from a distance, which gradually gets louder. Mesmerized by this, Amrapali starts following the source of chanting. Ajatashatru also starts following her. After walking some distance, they reach a forest where some people are sitting and chanting mantras. She feels a sense of peace and serenity there. Then she sees the Buddha sitting under a tree, meditating, who's there for his sermon. She bows down before him. Ajatashatru also breaks his sword and throws it away and is now ashamed of his actions. Both of them are now in the refuge of the Buddha. So this was our favorite movie of the day. If Amrapali movie is streaming in your country, then give it a watch and tell your views by commenting. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel. Take care.